The most horrific horror movie of 2024. Y'all gotta go watch this now. All right, now that the 10 seconds is up and I can swear, these motherfucking influencers need to stop with this shit. I have seen so many people hyping this up. Oh, this is the most fucking disturbing, horrific horror movie of 2024. I don't know, I think this was released in 2022 or 2023, but it's made a big storm on TikTok and stuff recently. I went into it not knowing a single lick of a motherfucking thing, and I just kept seeing influencers. Look at the title, most terrifying and traumatic film of the year. It's not terrifying. It might be a little traumatic to some, yes, because it does revolve around a very somber topic of, spoiler alert, this will have spoilers in it, child's death. It's not really even a horror movie. I'd almost say this is like a thriller, and I've seen some people say it's comedy. This is not a fucking comedy. I don't know where you get your laughs and your hee-hee-ha-has from, but this isn't a comedy. I didn't crack a smile. I didn't crack a laugh at all. Not once through this movie. I don't know who the fuck thinks this is a comedy, but I'd also say it's not a horror. I would say this is more of a thriller. Psychological thriller, probably. So there will be spoilers. I'm just gonna yap away, all right? So buckle down, grab a coffee, and listen to the Yap Fest. So basically, my takeaway from this movie is about a dad fucking up, accidentally killing his child, and basically through the whole entire movie, he tries to just play it off and act normal around his wife, aka the mother, and around a few other characters that are involved in the movie, like his brother and his brother's wife and the salesman that sold them the table and everything. So you basically start from the beginning, and it's the wife, the husband, and the baby in a sales room, and they're arguing about a table. Oh, it's a fucking ugly table. No, I like this table. No, this table's fucking ugly. Moral of the story, they basically end up getting the table. The salesman pitches it as indestructible glass. It is not. And then the way they get it home, they build it. There's like this weird relationship too between the neighbor, who's like a 13-year-old, and she's like deeply in love with the dad, like the husband, and like why even throw that into? I don't understand what role that plays, but what the fuck does that play a role into? You know what? It kind of leads up. It gives her an excuse to get in there for the ending scene, I guess. Okay, no, let's back it up. Again, there's going to be spoilers, but let me back myself up. Let's not get too deep into this. So the mom basically goes to the grocery store, and the dad's left alone with the baby. One thing leads to another. The baby gets dropped on the coffee table on the glass part, and it breaks, and the baby's head gets decapitated. And the dad's sat there in shock, and number one, I don't even know how in God's name that even happened. It doesn't even really explain how he drops the baby or anything. Like, how the fuck did that even happen? But basically, through the whole movie, it's just, it's a lot of talking too. There is a lot. This is a dialogue-heavy movie. You're probably thinking like, well, of course, movies have talking. It's not a lot of action or anything. Don't be expecting that. There's no scares or anything. It's a horror movie. There's no scares or anything like that. It's just a lot of talking, with the dad basically going through like PTSD sort of thing, because he knows he killed the baby and everybody around him has not a fucking clue. I will say I do like the camera work in this movie. I'll give that a plus side. It's got good camera angle, camera work. I guess as the professionals call it, cinematography. Yes. But this movie is it is a very grim movie. Like, throughout the whole process before the wife comes home, you know, the dad is in shock. He's sitting there changing his dead baby's diaper because I guess like his brain just can't process the loss of his child and what he did by accident. And it is very sad. Like, it is. I don't know, going into this movie, what the fuck I was expecting. It wasn't this. I was expecting some like crazy horror movie that was super gory and shit, by the way that everyone like talks about it and saying it's so traumatizing. But I do understand this. Again, this is a traumatic, a topic that's a little heavy on the brain, right? the loss of a child. I will say I did see something coming. I didn't know where like it was really going with this movie, like the coffee table. I thought the coffee table was like possessed or something. Or something like that, like a ghost movie or something. It is not that. But this movie is very heavy on the, you know, the grief, the guilt that the father feels for accidentally killing his child. And it just goes through these very grim and weird scenes that just kind of make you feel like, oh, what the fuck? Like there's this one scene where, you know, the mom comes home and she's sitting there just cackling like a witch, just a fucking witch laugh, as her dead baby is in the other room, and she has not an idea, and she's throwing, you know, jokes at the father, laughing super hard in his face, and, you know, she would have gave everything to see his reaction when the table broke, and oh, she would have loved to see the table break and everything like that. Sits there wheezing, witch laughing, and it's just like, it does make you feel kind of, you're kind of sitting there watching, you're like, like, you know, another part of the movie where the mom wants to see the child in the room because the dad said he'd just put him down for a nap, and the dad is obviously trying his absolute hardest to keep the mother out of the room, so they get a baby monitor thing and to listen for noise, and the mom hears like dripping, and the dad, she's like, what is that? And the dad's like, no, I got it, I'll go get it. And it's like the blood from the baby dripping onto the ground. So it's pretty fucked up. It is pretty fucked up. Then you go through the whole movie with the wife not knowing anything. You have the dad's / husband's brother and his like girlfriend wife come over, and it's just like they're so, you know, just normal for them, and the dad's just going through this PTSD. He's just looking around at different objects the camera's pan to. It's giving him like flashbacks, like it pans to like a baby's head statue that they have on a cabinet, and he's getting like flashbacks from all this, like battling just demons in his head. The brother brought over like a little baby outfit and stuff like that. So it is definitely a heavier movie. I will admit that. It is a pretty fucked up movie. And there was this one scene where they were having dinner. I don't know what the fuck he was eating, but it had some sort of filling, and it was like, it looked like blood, and he was like sitting there like eating it, and then he just has it in his mouth, and it pans over to the couch because the baby's head, this is important, rolled underneath a chair, and he didn't dare pick it up because he couldn't bring himself to it. He was like eating, and then it just like he couldn't do it because it like pans to like the couch and like the head, and then like the filling that's in his mouth, and he just like drops it in his mouth, and he's just like coming out of his mouth. He's like, oh, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? It's kind of a fucked up scene. I will say, if you guys are wondering, how does the wife not know that the baby's dead? When there's a bunch of blood stains and everything, he basically said that he cut himself like really bad, like he had a bandage and everything, and said he just really fucked up his hand, and I guess she believed it, sort of thing. There's like blood stains everywhere, and they just think it's from him cutting his hand. One thing I will say, I thought it was kind of neat. I don't know if, I guess they probably did that on purpose, but eventually the dad kind of had enough, and he went into the bathroom to record his, you know, a goodbye message because he wanted to jump off the balcony. And then the brother walks in, and he hears him, and the brother finds out the truth, and that's kind of where the movie starts to spiral towards the end. But the one thing that I said was kind of neat. So the brother goes into the room to see the child and everything, and, you know, that's when things truly start spiraling, because he sees that the brother ain't fucking around. You know, it actually happened. And then the mother wants to come in, you know, feed the baby and everything like that. And the brother's trying to like keep her out. And then she's like, they just make a bunch of excuses and whatnot. And then the mom's like, okay, well, I need to feed him in like exactly 10 minutes from now. And one thing I noticed was exactly 10 minutes was the ending of the movie. So I was kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of, you know, Could have said like 5 minutes or something. It was like, oh, exactly 10 minutes. I don't know. It was just like little thing that I noticed. It was kind of interesting that they threw in there like that. But the dad and brother end up going out because the brother was going to explain everything, and that's when stuff starts to spiral even more chaotic. And like I said from before, that weird 13-year-old that has like a crush on the dad, she circles back. That's why I said in the beginning of this video, you know, I will get too ahead of myself. I do know why I guess they put that in there. They kind of snuck it in a really weird way, I guess, but they snuck it in. And she basically has a big crush on the dad, and she was going to start blackmailing him. But she basically comes in and knocks on the door, and she's like, oh, we need to talk. We gotta talk. And the mom's like, no, maybe another day. We gotta talk, blah, blah, blah. And then the neighbors, like, she's like, no, your husband kissed me in the elevator. She didn't. The neighbor tried to kiss him, and apparently he stopped it, I guess. And yeah, she's just like, it's weird. And then that gets the, you know, wife's attention, obviously. So she brings in the neighbor. It's a big altercation. You know, obviously the brother and the husband are distraught. You know, the brother now knows, and they're just losing their mind. And it's just a bunch of chaos because the lady's like, you got to tell her about us, sort of thing. And then she like has her dog with her, and she puts the dog on the floor. As soon as that happened, I knew where this was fucking going. The dog was going to get the baby's head and bring that to attention. And that's exactly what happens. There's just a bunch of like chaos and camera panning zooms, almost like it's a fucking Saw movie. And then they finally are like, what the fuck is wrong with the dog? Why is it barking so much? And then the brother goes, picks up the baby's head, and basically just says everyone needs to get the fuck out of here. Like, you cannot see this. Like, that was the whole point, was that the brother didn't want the mom to see her son decapitated, right? Like, that is fucked up. Chaos, panning, fucking chaos. And then I guess it like shows the mom slowly walking over to the balcony where the dad was gonna originally jump off. And then it like pans away, then it pans back, and she's not there, so she ended up jumping. Okay, so the mom jumped, and then what happened with the dad? And then it pans to like police there and everything like that. And then they say in the report that a couple jumped off the balcony, and then the mom was like holding the head in her hands or something like that. So, you know, they both committed off the balcony, the dad and the mom. And then it pans to like cop car with the brother, who just has like severe fucking trauma, obviously. And then they're like, the brother was just saying like one thing and one thing only. And they're like, what is it? And he's like, it's like, he said the coffee table. And it's like, oh. And then the car drives away, and you see the dad, the mom, and the baby all together by the coffee table as ghosts, I presume. But it was something. And then it rolls the credits and everything. So this movie was not what I was expecting, but I will say it is a bit of a, you know, heavier movie with that whole topic and everything. But I think it was a pretty good movie. I give it like a 70%. I think a lot of people are really fucking hyping it up, which is a problem that a lot of influencers have nowadays. And they hype shit up. I thought this was a horror movie, like not at all what this was. Like the way some people talked about this, like I thought it was like a scary movies, like what they like mention. And like, to me, this is psychological thriller type of vibe. And the psychopaths that say this is a comedy, I do not see the comedy aspect in this at all. But I give this a solid 70%. If you want to go watch it for yourself, feel free. Well, I pretty much already spoiled the movie for you, so yeah. I guess we'll see what movie I review next time. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.